Center 7 Daybreak.
As an EF4 tornado rocked Dayton on Memorial Day night, that sound did not sound in the city.
I can't ever recall hearing sirens.
City leaders said there's a good reason residents have not heard siren sound for 2 decades.
And it made fiscal sense to get rid of them.
Storm Center 7 investigates the city of Dayton's decision not to continue not using warning sirens.
Those outdoor warning sirens have not been used in the city of Dayton for 2 decades.
And tonight, 2 months after the Memorial Day tornadoes, City of Dayton leaders continue to still think that the city does not need those sirens.
Storm Center 7 meteorologist Jesse Mag discovered it comes down to following the money trail.
While that's the warning sound many communities across the Miami Valley heard as 15 tornadoes, many large and violent, approached on Memorial Day. For the City of Dayton residents like Joe Taylor,
we didn't hear anything. If it weren't for Channel 7, we wouldn't know anything about it.
The lack of an outside warning sound as an EF4 ripped through parts of Montgomery County caused fellow Dayton resident Brenda Jewett to question the mayor and city council on continuing a 20-year practice of not using any sirens.
Because I feel like if there are no sirens, then our lives were put seriously in danger.
But that fear, City of Dayton Deputy Fire Chief Jeff Likens says, is actually not founded because of new technology.
And it made fiscal sense to get rid of them. Obviously, at that time, about 20 years ago, when cell phones started coming around, and there was really more of a shift of reliance on technology to notify people of impending weather.
It's true. Smartphones offer an unparalleled way to warn about approaching storms. Jewett even mentioned that during her testimony.
Had it not been for my cell phone, I wouldn't have known anything.
In Ohio, state public safety leaders tell Storm Center 7 all siren decisions are left up to local governments. Ultimately, Deputy Chief Likens says for the City of Dayton, it came down to cost.
They typically range, including installation, from as low as $25,000 to as high as $40,000 each.
Each siren covers between 1 to 2 square miles. To cover the entire city of Dayton, it would require installing roughly 23 sirens at a cost of anywhere between $600,000 to $900,000. That's not including additional maintenance and operation costs.
On an average cost, that's over $1 million.
From their beginning, warning of the German invasion during World War II, to warning Americans of possible nuclear attacks during the 1950s, to becoming standard tornado warnings in the 1970s. Today, an Ohio emergency management spokesperson told Storm Center 7 most Ohio communities are still using sirens to warn people outdoors to take shelter immediately.
We need to be alerted as early as possible. But again, I think we also need the sirens to tell us.
In Harrison Township, where sirens were sounded as an EF4 hit their community just 5 miles from Dayton, residents told me the sirens are worth every penny.
I don't think lights are too costly.
While Dayton is not the only city that does not use tornado sirens, rural areas seem to be the most likely to sound the alarm. The National Weather Service in Wilmington lists Mercer, Auglaize, Logan, Miami, Butler, Warren, and Wayne County, Indiana, as storm-ready counties. In short, this means these counties are highly prepared to warn its citizens of an impending tornado strike.
But I heard nothing.
And for those still wondering, Deputy Chief Likens told me there is another way to fund tornado sirens.
The Homeland Defense offers some funding capabilities for that, but again, that's limited and at about $40,000 each on the high end. They don't offer $1 million funding.
The Deputy Chief says that's the tough question Dayton residents have to be able to answer. Are you willing to spend more tax dollars to fund sirens? This story shows us the importance of having a weather radio. The chief described it as working like a smoke detector during severe weather. The radio often comes with a self-charging hand crank that would ensure you receive updates even when the power goes out, and it even has a port to charge your cell phone. Jesse Mag, Storm Center 7.
I want to say a quick hello to a very loyal News Center 7 viewer, Mrs. Thomas, watching us tonight. Never misses News Center 7 at 11 before she turns out the lights.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you for watching, ma'am.
Yeah.
Glad to have you with us as always.
Yeah, of course. I'm also glad that the thunderstorm threat has diminished since earlier on today, but we're not out of the woods yet. We have a cold front that still needs to move through, and it won't get through at least until we get into tomorrow afternoon. And before it does, we'll have that chance for some downpours at times and even a few thunderstorms. Live Doppler 7 radar as we scan the skies. We still have some light rainfall occurring in portions of Greene County, Clark County, and southern Champaign County, where we have light showers from Urbana into Springfield, even into portions of Fairborn, Beaver Creek, and northeastern Montgomery County out towards Huber Heights. In fact, we do have a viewer photo that came in from earlier on today in the Clark County area near Springfield, looking north towards Urbana, when we had some of those storms moving through. This photo came in from Frank. Thank you for sending that in. And notice the ominous gray-looking stormy clouds as they were pushing off to the north from his vantage point. Live Doppler 7 radar, a regional picture. There's the line of showers and storms that we've been tracking for the last few hours. The actual cold front itself is still off to the west. It stretches from northern portions of Indiana back into south central Illinois. This cold front will slowly nudge to the east, bringing us a few more showers and storms for us tomorrow. As it passes by, it doesn't necessarily cool the air, but what it will do is bring down the humidity. And you can see clearly where that front is set up, where you have dew points falling into the low 60s, even to the 50s further north and west. Closer to home, we're still in those mid to upper 60s, and that's why it feels rather muggy outside tonight. Dew point temperature in Dayton is at 67 degrees. And the dew point plays a big factor in how cool it can get during the overnight hours, because the temperature can't fall further than the dew point, and that means we're going to stay somewhat mild through the night as well. 68 degrees will be our overnight low. We'll have a few showers still working through. The thunderstorm threat has diminished since earlier on this evening, but it is going to return for tomorrow. Not for everyone, but a good portion of us have that threat for more storms. And then tomorrow afternoon, we will warm to about the low 80s, slightly below average. Still rather muggy, though, until that cold front moves on by. Let me track those showers and storms for you by tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. We will have some downpours around. No real significant threat for thunderstorms at that point. But keep in mind, even through about 9 o'clock in the morning, you may have some pockets of reduced visibility with those downpours working through. By lunchtime, we'll start to enhance that threat for some scattered showers and a few storms. Best chance for the thunderstorms will be Dayton and to the southeast. Notice at 3 o'clock on Futurecast, we have some significant downpours there as those storms work on by. Overall, severe threat is on the very low end for us tomorrow. Just some gustier winds at times and heavy rainfall. Additional rain, perhaps about a half an inch, slightly more southeast of Dayton, with some of those downpours, lesser amounts if you live north and west. As that front moves on by, as I mentioned, the humidity will drop. Still kind of muggy for us on Wednesday. Much nicer conditions as we head through the end of your work week. There's your 5-day forecast. Sunny skies that also come in with that lower humidity will be in the middle 80s through the upcoming weekend, warming up to the upper 80s by Sunday. Meteorologist Dante Jones will be up with you at 4:25, tracking any downpours working through for your morning commute.
You know how tempting it is when you smell your favorite food and you just gotta have it, right, Molly?
Oh, that I do.
Well, new research shows some drivers who deliver food taste it before getting it to people's doorsteps. U.S. Foods surveyed more than 500 delivery drivers. Folks, 28% admitted taking food from a customer's order while making that delivery. This included tasting their drinks. Drivers said the food smell tempted them. The survey involved drivers from Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, and Postmates.
Well, that'll make you think twice before you order delivery again. Some of the country's top high school